Yo! What's happening? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be fixing the cluster. I did go to the junkyard already. I didn't film this because outside it looks like it's going to rain. So I ended up going probably 30 minutes ago. I didn't take my camera because my camera was dead because again on my previous video we didn't have power, so I didn't end up hooking up my battery on the charger for the camera. So my camera was dead, so while I was going to the junkyard, I let my camera charge, do its thing, and that's why I'm recording right now. So I did take out that motherboard from a 1990 Nissan Maxima, and I also got the OEM shifter knob. It was cool because that Nissan Maxima was actually manual, and I was debating to take those rubber stoppings for the pedals, but it started pouring at the junkyard, so I was just like, you know what, I didn't have a hood, I just had this crew neck, and I was like, I'm just gonna grab my part, what I need, and I'm out of there. So here's my cluster. It's already taken apart. This is the motherboard that I took from the 1990 Nissan Maxima. This part is for this part here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart. I actually pulled these fuses as well at the junkyard because this is the actual fuse that I blew. I blew two of these, and lucky enough for me, there's actually two on that Nissan Maxima fuse box. They're kind of it's kind of weird. They're both the same. They're both 30 amps, but I guess one's shorter than the other, which is pretty weird. But we have that. Also got these two bolts for the steering column. On my steering column, I noticed when I took everything apart, there was only one bolt, so I just decided to take both of them. That's for the steering column. When you screw it on, it sits in place, and then when you take them off, that's when it falls, and then you can take out the cluster. So there's a little bit of work to do. I gotta take the entire cluster out. There's these little two screws right here. There's one, and then there's two. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my screwdriver and go ahead and take everything apart and just get started. And hopefully if it's not raining outside and if it doesn't get too dark, I'll probably install it just to make sure that it's going. We'll do a couple of test runs with it at night, and if it is working, then I can go ahead, put everything back tomorrow morning. I already took the cluster apart, and here are the two motherboards. There's actually 4 screws to take it out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this top screw right here. You don't have to worry about this part right here. I thought they were connected, but they're not connected, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing is, if you guys want to switch your clusters to LED lights, now would be a good time to swap all the bulbs for LED. Unfortunately, I don't have any LED lights, so I'll probably do this another time. I just want my speed sensor to work. So this is the motherboard of the original cluster, and this is the Nissan Maxima. So if you guys can tell, they're both the same. This is 16 volts 100, and this one is 16 volts by 100 as well. They're both the same, so if I turn this around, you guys can see that the connections in the back are also the same. So you have the 4 bolts that it goes to, 4 bolts that it stays on the cluster. You have your pigtail connector here, you have your pigtail connector here, so they're both the same. Again, I would have soldered the original motherboard, but at the time we didn't have power, and I didn't have a soldering gun or any solder at the moment, so that's why I didn't want to go through that route. But I took off this motherboard from the Nissan Maxima. It looked like it was working because again, it wasn't the speedometer wasn't all the way on the other side. It was actually on the correct side, and plus that I saw the date on it on the Nissan Maxima, and it just showed up 2 days ago, so it just they just put that new row there. So I ended up taking the cluster apart and just grabbing the motherboard. So let me swap this out, and then we'll head to the car and see if it works. Everything is in place. We took out this motherboard. This was the old motherboard from the 240, so this was the old one that was in here. Swapped it out with the 1990 Nissan Maxima new motherboard from the junkyard that I picked out. I'm just gonna leave it like this just for now. That way, if I drive and I see that it's not doing anything, I can go ahead and take it apart and see what I did wrong. But As for the screws in the back, I already screwed everything back in. I tightened them down pretty good. That way it has some good connection on them. That's the one thing you guys want to make sure is that you guys tighten them down. Not too tight, but where it's actually making contact. So let's go back to the 240 and we'll install this real quick and we'll go for a drive, and hopefully the speedometer starts working, because I don't want to be driving like this anymore. I want to be driving where I'm going, it's like me, and then freaking full blast. I'm just kidding, guys. But let's go test this out inside the 240 SX, and I'm telling you guys, look, like, I'm not playing, bro, but look at the sky. Can you guys see that? Look how freaking gloomy it is. It was raining earlier, so that's why I didn't take my camera to go film when I was at the junkyard. I didn't want my camera to get wet, and again, my battery was dead. But we'll go ahead and install this. So the way I'm gonna install this is I'm just gonna leave it here connected, and I'm just gonna push it in where it's not gonna fall. That way, if it's not working, then I know I can just take it apart and then just double check on how I connected everything. I was also reading in the forum that if you swap out the motherboard from the Nissan Maxima onto your 240 SX, usually your check engine light will flash on. If the check engine light does flash on, then it's gonna give me a code saying that something is wrong with the speed sensor. So again, I checked the wires from the speed sensor going all the way to the ECU. Everything was fine, there was no cuts. This is my second route of swapping out the motherboard for the speed sensor or whatever. And if we do get a check engine light, then I know for sure that something is wrong with the speed sensor. But I don't think something is wrong with the speed sensor, because usually when I would drive the car, it would start working like here and there. So I'm pretty sure like something was wrong with the motherboard in here. So let's go ahead and connect it, and hopefully this solves our problem. So let's get to it. It's so cold outside that I just decided to close my door. So usually the black cable, there's like a black pigtail right here. I don't know if you guys can see that in camera. This goes all the way to the left, which is this spot here. You want to be very careful with it. And the thing is that when you connect this, since the cables are like so short, it's kind of hard to connect. So this just slides in. You can hear it too, watch. There you go, that's connected. This is the middle, so it goes down the middle right here, and this is the far right. I'll go ahead and connect that. There we go, everything is connected, and you guys can see that it's working because my time is showing here. Let me grab the camera real quick. So this is how you know that your cluster is working and there's no problems. The time is showing 1 o'clock. I'm gonna adjust it, but not right now. So the way I'm gonna leave this is I'm gonna leave this here, about right here, and we're just gonna go for a drive and we'll see if this starts to move. Hopefully it does. How is your boy gonna start the car if he forgot his keys? So I went inside the house, go ahead and grab my keys. I'm gonna just open the gate real quick. Again, if this does work, we'll go ahead and put everything back in place tomorrow morning, because dude, it honestly looked like it's gonna rain again. So weird, like, I don't know, Southern California weather, bro. It's so weird. It rains, and then the next day it's like super hot, and then at night it's like super cold, and then it gets super hot. I don't know, Southern California weather is so weird. MOT, moment of truth. Let me go ahead and turn on my fans, bro. Ugh. I don't know how am I gonna grab this, but I need to grab this real quick. Put this bad boy on. Fans are on. I'm gonna put my feet under the cable because I don't want to freaking mess them up or anything. Keep the fan like that under my foot. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start this bad boy up. Press the brake, bring down the emergency brake, get it off of gear, and here we go. So I'm keeping an eye on the check engine light, see if it flashes. If it does flash or if it turns on, then something's wrong with the speed sensor. I'm gonna let it sit for like 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and go for a drive. So I'm stationed right next to my driveway, and to be honest, I think it's actually working, guys, because I remember when I was driving the car, this would just stay sitting down, but if I let go, it automatically goes back up, which is crazy. And I know for a fact that it's working because on the tax side, if I hold this down and if I let go, it automatically goes where it's supposed to be idled at. So I think I got it, guys. I think it's gonna work. So what we got to do now is actually just drive the freaking car normally, and just pay attention to see how fast I'm going, because I've been driving like this for, I want to say, like a year and a half, and I don't know how fast I'm driving. It's kind of a bad thing, because sometimes when I'm driving at a residential area, just for example where I live, I don't know if I'm going either like 40 or 50 miles per hour. I don't know. So that's why they added like some new speed meters by my house, just to let people know that, hey, you're driving this fast. And it kind of helps me, because since I'm in a residential area, I don't like to drive fast on these streets, because there's always kids that are always crossing the street, and I don't want to, I don't want to speed or hurt anybody. So that's why, like, I usually drive super slow, but hopefully this works. All right, guys, so moment of truth. I'm going in first, checking the side mirror, see if any car's pulling up. We're good, and we're gonna take off. No way, it's working, bro. No freaking way. I'm gonna go to complete stop real quick. Put it in first, it's dropping, and we're going, go ahead and take off. Dude, this is freaking sick. It's working. So like right now I'm going like 35 miles per hour, which is supposed to be, the limit's supposed to be actually 35. But yo, this is freaking crazy, bro. I've never seen my speedometer work. Yo, bro, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Bro, I can't believe it works. Like, I'm so freaking happy. Like, you guys have no idea. And how annoying it was not to know how fast you were going. But I'm just glad all the hard stuff was taken off, and putting everything back together is pretty much the easy stuff. But again, tomorrow I'm actually just gonna put all the plastic trim, put the steering wheel how it's supposed to be, also the cluster, put the cluster back in place, and we're good to go, guys. Like, I'm glad it was just a motherboard, because that's a lot cheaper than just spending a brand new speed sensor, which is gonna run around like 60 to 50 bucks, or even higher or lower, I don't know, depending where you get it. But I'm just glad that the motherboard, I just had to switch it out, and everything is working. That's gonna wrap up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, comment down below. If you guys want to keep up with me, I'm always updating stuff on Instagram, and I also made a TikTok. So if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, you guys can follow me. But we'll see you guys tomorrow, because we're gonna be putting everything back in place, and hopefully I do get the tent tomorrow. Hopefully it shows up tomorrow. I gotta double check on eBay and see where my package is at, and if it does, then we'll go ahead and do a separate video for that the next day. But like always, I'll see you guys on my next video. Later, guys.